Hey everybody, welcome to Live Out Loud with Jason on this beautiful Friday. How are you doing today? I hope you are having an amazing day today. So, we're still talking about living out loud, and living out loud is something that takes conscious effort and planning and action and boldness and courage. And so I've been sitting here just thinking about you guys and living out loud, having me a cup of coffee here. You know what is living out loud not about? I bet you know by now, but I'm gonna tell you one more time. Living out loud is not about being obnoxious. And you could say it's about letting your actions speak loudly for you, but it's not about being a bull in a china closet. It's not about being annoying. It's not about waking people up in the morning with a singing voice and all of that. It's about realizing who you are, realizing who you're created to be, and living that, about discovering, unearthing, cultivating, watering, nurturing your purpose, your skills, your gifts, your talents, developing them, exercising them. Exercise is how we get stronger, right? Are your gifts atrophied? Maybe there was a time when you were using them and you're not now. Maybe you've been through a season where you had to change your focus for a period of time. And maybe now is the time to get back going again. Think about it. The world needs what you have, who you are. God created you for a purpose. So the only person that can be you is you. Okay, friends, and so I want to encourage you to be bold. Now, how do we start living out loud? Where do we begin? How do we start over? Maybe you've been through a huge setback or a huge failure in your life, and maybe you feel that you're disqualified to do what you've been doing before. You could have been through a relationship failure, a business failure, some other type of failure. And I want you to know that you're not washed up and you're not done for no matter what you've done until you say you are. Because guess what? God isn't going to treat you like that. There is forgiveness in the blood of Jesus. And if you have done something and if you're carrying shame, you can't change the truth, you can't change the past. You can only change your present and direct your future. And friends, if you're carrying around a ball and chain of the past and of shame and of guilt, you're never going to soar. You're not going to fly with a ball and chain around you. And maybe, guess what? Maybe you need to make some amends for things you've done in the past. Maybe you've got a hard road to walk in making things right. Guess what? Suck it up. You can do it. You're strong. You can persevere. You can do this. Okay? You have great, bright days ahead. Days of fulfillment, days of productivity, days of joy, days of goodness. You have those ahead. And the only thing that's going to stop you, is your own mindset and your own actions. Okay? Think about Paul and Silas. Oh no, we're in jail. It's over. We're done for. Let's give up. No, we're not going to do that, friends. We are going to live out loud. And so the first thing that we've got to do when we want to live out loud is we've got to make sure that our understanding and our belief about the goodness of God is well in order. Okay? And hey, mom joined in. Thanks so much for listening today. If you have any questions, just post them up in the chat. I'll see them here in a minute. But, you have to understand that God is absolutely good. He absolutely loves you. He has good plans for your life. He has big plans for your life. Okay, that's the first thing. And the second thing is once you reconcile the fact that God truly is good, the next thing is that He has good plans for you. Okay, and that no matter what's happened in the past, you may have altered some of that plan or some of that, but guess what? God still has good plans for you, and you have to keep moving forward. What's the other option? Roll over and die, lay down, give up, let someone else have all the fun? Are we going to do that? Are you going to do that? I don't think you're going to do that. So, the belief about God being good, the belief that God created you for a purpose, and that glorifying Him, glorifying God starts, maybe not starts, but part of glorifying God is living out your purpose. Living out your purpose. And guess what? Your assignment, your direction, can change in different seasons of your life and in different times. Okay? And it's okay to understand that, hey, this is a season of change for me. This is a season of change. And that's an uncomfortable place when you have to change, because we get in a groove, we get used to things, we build habits, and things change, and we need to sometimes add things into our life, and sometimes we need to take things out of our lives. And that can be things, it can be habits, it can be people, okay? And so, understand the times that you are in, and ask God, what is this next season of my life? And He's going to show you, okay? But you've got your purpose, you've got your gifts, you've got your calling, okay? It's time to dig it up, to water it, to let it have some sunshine, to take it for a spin around the block. Maybe it's time to dust it off and rejuvenate it, okay? But you are an awesome being that God has created. And don't forget. And so it's time to set our direction, to determine our direction, and it's time to act with courage. Courage, action. You want to defeat fear, you want to defeat uncertainty, take action. Move. Take some action. And overcome fear. Learn, improve. The only way we're going to get better, you can study how to be a good baseball home run hitter all day long, but at some point you've got to go start swinging the bat. Are you swinging the bat right now? That's the question. Are you swinging the bat? Maybe you are, maybe you aren't. It's time to do this. So for instance, let me think about this. You've heard this before. Public speaking is more feared than death. What in the world? Public speaking is more feared than death. Can you believe that? That's a big thing. Well, guess what? Because some people, they haven't done it before. And if you haven't done it before, it's this unknown thing. There's fear of the unknown. It's like children, they're afraid of the dark because of what might be there, not because of what's really there. And if you wanted to overcome your fear of public speaking, there's a number of ways that you can do that. Well, part of it is just getting up in front of a smaller group, and then a bigger group, and then a bigger group. And you grow your confidence, you grow your skills, and you keep rolling with it. So there's one other thing, friends, that I want to talk to you about today, and it's this. Along the lines of having setbacks or losses in your life, mistakes you've made, do losses and setbacks have value? Are you better off or worse off because of a failure or of a loss? Think about it for a second. Are you better off or worse off? If we take a failure, a loss, and become bitter, start blaming situations, circumstances. Anytime I hear people blaming other things constantly, it tells me one thing, that they have a problem with personal accountability. That is what the problem is. Anytime you hear people complaining about circumstances or other people, it's because they have a problem with personal accountability. And one of the things that winners always do is winners always take responsibility for their own situation. They may not have caused what happens, but they are the solution going forward. They can direct. So I want you today to have a winner's attitude. And here's how you change a loss into value and eventually a win. When you lose or you fail, you investigate why and you learn from it so that you don't do it again. And at that point, friends, your loss, your failure becomes a value that can help propel you into the future and over your next hurdle. Okay? Over your next hurdle. Hey Rochelle, Rochelle's listening in. Hey girl, so glad you joined in today. I know you've got a lot going today too, just like everybody else. Thanks for joining in. But we can turn our failures into value. And guess what? It's like Rumpelstiltskin. You gave me hay, but I'm going to spin it. Or you gave me straw, I'm going to spin it into gold. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to learn. And it's going to make me better. Don't forget, steel is forged in the fire when it gets hot. And then guess what? Not only is it just put in the fire, you know what else they do to forge steel? They beat it with a hammer. They beat it with a hammer, and it makes it stronger and more valuable, and it lines up the cells in it. And sometimes going through, if we have the right attitude towards the situations we go through, they will help line up our priorities in life and strengthen us. I've talked to a number of people going through this COVID thing that in their jobs and in their companies and even in their lives that they gained such a new perspective going through this, that it gave them clarity on what truly is the most important things in their lives. Wow, what value is that? Think about a year from now, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years from now. People are going to be looking back on 2020, talking about COVID, and they're going to say, you know what? Wow, did that teach me a lesson? I am so much better off for having gone through that whole COVID thing. Can you believe that? That there's actually something of value for us to learn through this. So, friends, to live out loud, we've got to get our understanding, our belief, our mindset right. We've got to begin to take steps in movement and action towards progressing and uncovering and developing and exercising our gifts. And when those inevitable failures and losses occur, we need to learn from them and let them make us better and choose that I'm going to become better from this. So, friends, that's all I've got to share with you today. And I just want to tell you, I love you. Guess what? It's weekend. It's weekend here pretty soon for most everybody. I've got more work to do. You probably do too. But I want you to enjoy this weekend. I want you to treasure your health. I want you to treasure your time, treasure your loved ones, and live out loud. Pour into someone else's life. Make this world a better place. The world needs what you can do, what you are created to do. So I want to bless you. God bless you. Have an amazing day. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye now.